Now, working in a kitchen like Chef Michelle must be fun and fast-paced, so they make sure to follow safety guidelines to prevent any injuries.
Unfortunately, not every business follows their example. Here's Alex with some shocking statistics.
Well, workplace fatalities have reached their highest level since 2008, with more than 4,800 Americans killed at work in 2014. Now, most of these deaths are accidental, caused by incidents we know how to prevent. Here to tell us more is Deborah Hersman, President and CEO of the National Safety Council. Deborah, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you.
So let's talk about what people actually know. How many Americans are actually concerned about their safety at work?
You know, I think most Americans don't recognize the risks that they face on the job every day. When we look at the statistics and see 11 fatalities every day and a worker injured every 7 seconds, it really means that employees have to think about what things might be the greatest risk for them on the job. Our survey found that a third of the employees that we surveyed said that they thought their employer prioritized productivity over safety. And so this was concerning, but it was especially concerning because certain high-risk industries like construction, agriculture, and healthcare had an even higher percentage of respondents saying that their employer prioritized productivity over safety. And so this means employees are aware of what's going on at work, but they don't feel like safety is the first priority every time at every job site.
Right. It seems like employees are sort of left to their own devices. Now, does that mean that there's some sort of safety culture problem in these companies?
You know, we have real concerns when we see employers that are not really transmitting that message that safety is job one. And so we want employees to feel comfortable reporting safety hazards when they see them. And so that feedback loop is really important. They're on the front lines. They're seeing the hazards and the risks. But unfortunately, in one of the fastest growing sectors of employment, temporary and contract workers, we saw that about half of the time that we asked this question of them, they didn't feel comfortable reporting safety hazards to their employer. So that's a very risky environment with employees that might be doing high-risk jobs and may not have a lot of exposure or training. We want to make sure that they feel safe and comfortable reporting safety hazards.
Yes, of course. And so what are some of those leading causes of deaths and injuries in the workplace?
The top 3 causes of death on the job might surprise people. In the first position, comprising 40% of workplace fatalities, is motor vehicle crashes. That's followed by falls, and then equipment, struck by equipment or engaged with equipment injuries that result in fatalities. So those are the top 3: crashes, falls, and equipment.
Okay, and so what should employers really do to sort of mitigate this? Is there training they can do? Are there programs they can put in place? I mean, how do we stop this problem?
So I'd say the first thing that employers can do is engage with their employees. A number of employees said they didn't feel like they were part of the safety solutions at their work site, and so they want to be involved. You want to make sure that you engage them. Identifying the hazards. If employees don't know what to be worried about, they won't understand how to take care of themselves. And so whether it's toxic substances or how equipment operates, you want to make sure that you engage your employees and that they know how to identify the risks, that they have enough knowledge to do that. And then the last piece is to make sure that as a leadership, as a company, you are really raising the bar on safety. And this means going above and beyond what the minimum requirements are. What the laws and the regulations, you have to comply with those. Those are the floor. But when we look at changes in the workplace, whether it's demographics or technology, or even the substances that people are consuming, employers have to go above and beyond. Technology is a great example. Workplaces have challenges with cell phone use, whether it's distracted driving, distracted walking. Companies can put policies on even if no laws are in place. The same thing with impairment. Employees are much more likely to report to work impaired by over-the-counter or prescription substances, particularly painkillers, than they are to come to work drunk or on illegal drugs. And so employers really have to recognize the risks and how those change over time and adapt.
Deborah Hersman, President and CEO of the National Safety Council, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a safe summer.
Hey, you as well. Everybody else stay right where you are. We'll be right back.